Let me first give you a sense of the general structure of this very large book. The claim that the prophetic books are anthologies of oracles and other materials compiled by the prophet or by his disciples, that is to say, schools that kept a set of prophecies and then added to those core prophecies because of their firm belief in their continuing relevance. That portrait of the anthological nature of prophetic books is really demonstrable in the book of Isaiah. The first 11 chapters contain memoirs. Chapter 1 sets out some of the basic themes of Isaiah, but we have a lot of first-person narrative. Then we have various oracles against Israel. Some of this material refers to the attacks on Jerusalem, especially the siege of 701. And there seems to be a kind of concluding hymn in chapter 12. We then have about 11 chapters of oracles against foreign nations. That's a form that we also saw in Amos and Hosea, denouncing foreign nations, from chapters 13 to 23. I'm skipping over chapters 24 to 27. They are a little apocalypse, a sort of mythological vision of the end of days, and that probably dates to a much later time, the 6th century. That was the time in which the apocalyptic genre was really developing. So we skip over that. We don't think of that as associated with the historical Isaiah, and move on to chapters 28 to 33. Here we turn from oracles against foreign nations to oracles against Judah and Israel and the relationship with Egypt, right? This is a time where, caught between these two powers, Egypt and Assyria, Judah is trying to figure out with whom to make alliances, right? Should she cast her lot with Egypt, and so on. And these are from a slightly later period, down towards the siege of 701, and they include accounts of Isaiah's counsel to Hezekiah in 701. 34 and 35 we'll kind of skip over for now. These also are post-exilic insertions. And then chapters 36 to 39. This is third-person historical narrative. And it is, in fact, 2 Kings chapters 18 to 20. That material has simply been inserted here. So those 3 chapters appear here in Isaiah. It's the story of the invasion of Sennacherib, the interactions of Isaiah and Hezekiah during the siege in 701. So I'm stopping at chapter 39, even though there are 66 chapters in the book of Isaiah, because most scholars agree. I think this is really a very strong consensus that the remaining material is not the work of Isaiah of Jerusalem. It dates to a period long after Isaiah's lifetime. I've already mentioned the Apocalypse, which we think was probably from the 6th century. That's embedded in there, chapters 24 to 27. But the remaining material we speak of in 2 main sections. We refer to these as 2nd Isaiah and 3rd Isaiah. Chapters 40 to 55, which we refer to as 2nd Isaiah, assume a historical setting in which Babylon is dominating, not Assyria. And so we see that as coming at a much later time. Chapters 56 to 66 we refer to as 3rd Isaiah. This material contains oracles that are spread throughout the 8th to the 5th centuries. So we'll consider those on another occasion in their proper historical context. Right now we're looking at the material that is most likely attributable to 1st Isaiah, to Isaiah of Jerusalem. The book also contains material that is a repetition of material found elsewhere. I've already noted 2 Kings 18 to 20 appears here, but in addition you have snatches of verses that appear in other places. So Isaiah 2 verses 2 to 4 are found in Micah, the book of Micah 4 verses 1 to 4. Jeremiah 48 is essentially equivalent to Isaiah 15 and 16. So this kind of repetition among or between different books illustrates, again, the anthological nature of the prophetic corpuses, right? The prophetic corpus, that these were works that were compiled from material that sometimes circulated in more than one school.